guys, welcome on into Tomes. I am one of your hosts, Jason Wiley, and I am joined by my awesome and beautiful co-host, Cody.
Hi guys, how you doing tonight?
Yeah. I think they're doing fine. I think they're doing good. All right, so some announcements as
Your
we
audio
get
just
into
cut out for
this.
me
Do you have any?
and video.
Okay, well, video's gonna cut out, so that should not be a huge issue. As you can tell, we've
Yeah.
now decided, at least on our end, we would like to see each other, so
And
that way
now
we
you
can
guys have to
stop.
suffer and see both of us.
Well, actually, no, they don't, because it doesn't record our video.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, it doesn't. So, if the
Oh,
video is
okay, I didn't know that.
completely messed up, we're good, because it's just the audio we need.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But announcements, Cody, what's been going on in your personal life that you would like to share with our audience?
I just college. I'm continuing on. The semester has been in full swing now and doing Arabic, Russian literature, all those fun things I talked about. I am
Mhm.
really fun. My wife actually came with me to one of my Arabic classes.
Hmm.
Teacher's absolutely hilarious and crazy. That was pretty fun. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on in my life right now. How about for you?
Again, I'd finished my I think I kinda got my most of my final draft done for my short story. So right now I'm in the
Nice.
process of narrating it, and, so I've done audiobooks in the past. I love narrating my own audiobook. It is
Oh,
so much
know,
easier. Because
you know
if
the
there's
voice
this
range
like, "You
pretty
know what
quick.
this does?" Yeah, I know the voice range. I know exactly what the characters are how I want them to sound. I can make them sound like that. And if there's a change that's like, "You know what? That just doesn't sound right," I can change it.
That's
Because
awesome.
yeah, as I was looking at the script, it's like I use "go into town" and "go into the village." I'm like, "Why did I do that? I'm just gonna make it consistent. Both go into village. Boom, done."
There you go.
Whereas other authors have to go, "I noticed this. Do you want me to change this, or what do you want me to do?" It turns into that kinda conversation, and someone's like, "No, keep it exactly as it was written." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, if you found a mistake, go ahead and change it." Whereas right now, I'm
That
just
makes
like,
sense.
"I found my mistake. I can change it." And then
Nice.
even in the delivery of my lines, I'm like, "I know how I want it to sound. I know how I had it narrated in my head. I now actually
Mhm.
get to do it." So it's really nice. It's very convenient.
I bet. I think I've only heard of one other author who's actually voiced their own books, and that was
Mhm.
the 10 Issues Among the Nephite series by Chris Heimdinger.
Okay, cool. So,
But yeah, that's the only one I think of.
yeah. So, it's fun going through, starting to narrate it. Actually, I did, the first 4 pages today, so, there's a total of, I wanna say oh, yeah, no, actually, for the narration, I made the print larger, so it's to 14 pages.
Okay.
So, tomorrow I'm planning on doing at least another 4 and just slowly chip away at it. But yeah,
Nice.
overall, it's coming across good. I've had again had my wife read it, had my mom read it. My mom did make a comment, just like, okay, this one thing I was like, oh, I didn't think of that. So I addressed that issue. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And this is why it's important to have alpha, beta, gamma readers.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because actually I know Sanderson, he went through let's see, yeah, he went through all the way to gamma of readers
My
when he was releasing
gosh.
the secret projects.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool to do that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Which actually transitions us to the next segment, fantasy news.
Yes.
So, yeah, Sanderson's first secret project came out. Have you actually seen the trailer for The Year Sanderson?
Maybe. I've seen his when he first announced it, and I've seen a few things about it.
This is
I
new. Like, this, I think he released it Monday.
probably not then.
One second. The Year of Sanderson. It is actually very funny. You say, and actually, this is the cool thing is I can now share it. Share, YouTube, share.
Friend.
Okay, here we go. So not sure. Can you hear the audio? There's music playing right now.
Yeah, I could hear it.
Okay.
I have been lying, and it is time for me to admit the truth. I've written 5 extra novels. So yeah, that's
That's
basically the.
funny. I
I
saw
was
one of the things
laughing.
he That's so funny. I saw part of that on TikTok. He posted a thing of him cleaning up afterwards, saying what happens when you break another keyboard.
It
Pretty
was
funny.
so funny while watching it. He's just like they playing this epic music and all he's doing is typing and typing. Then keyboard breaks. Goes over to a mountain of keyboards.
It's so great.
And some
I
of them
love
are
that
like, hey,
his
those are Mac keyboards.
one of the things I think is hilarious is that his writing area is literally just in the middle of the warehouse.
Yep. Not staged at all
Oh,
or
it's great.
anything like that.
Yep. Guys, look at all my stuff. You should buy it.
It's like, behold my stuff.
My stuff.
All right, so actually just finished Tress of the Emerald Sea,
How was it?
and I actually liked the. It was good. It was really good. It is a one-off story. Like it's not. There's no. I don't think there's gonna be a sequel. Like it's good.
Okay.
One story wrapped up, and I like the way Sanderson actually described it and his inspiration for it. It's
Yep.
basically the Princess Bride. If Buttercup went off to find Wesley after she found out he disappeared.
Oh, okay.
Because that was the inspiration for the story is him and his wife, they were watching the Princess Bride during quarantine. And during it, he's just like, I had one pet peeve, like when it always brought up the fact that Wesley has gone missing. Is like, why did Buttercup do nothing? She just sat there, just like, oh, he's gone, and was just heartbroken.
Hmm.
It's like, what if she actually went up and tried to find him? What would that story have been like? So that's basically what this is. Now add Sanderson's science and magic system to the work, and that's it.
That's actually pretty cool. And that's the one he wrote for his wife, right?
Yeah, he wrote this one specifically for his wife. Hoyd is the narrator, which I just absolutely love. Because in Princess Bride, it's the Dread Pirate Roberts. In this one,
Hmm.
it is the Sorceress.
Okay.
And the Sorceress is known for giving curses.
Hmm.
Hoyd is cursed. And so, kind of the solution for the entire story is trying to get Hoyd uncursed. Which that's where where the book gets kind of fun and interesting because the curse she gave Hoyd is just like he can't think straight. He's no longer able to think straight, and so it's going to be just this weird state he's in where he can't formulate any kind of sentences.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, one of the things with the curses is you can't tell them how to break the curse. If you mention anything close to what you're gonna need to break the curse, your mind's just gonna go blank. You can't say anything. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's just it's a good story overall. And the magic system's interesting because it's about spores.
Okay.
There's 12 moons. Each moon actually drops down spores,
Okay.
and there's 12 oceans. So each moon has its own ocean and its own spore. So different spores do different things.
By the way, heavy spoilers.
Yeah, well, I'll say that one I'm not gonna say is that much of a spoiler. I'm not telling you the big twists, big turn, big plot points. I'm kinda keeping it broad. It's small spoilers. It's just small spoilers. I say it's teasers.
Hmm.
Me and Megan actually had this conversation earlier this week. Is like, what do you consider a spoiler and what do you consider a teaser?
Okay.
So for
What
me,
do you
I'm like,
consider a teaser?
a teaser is something like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Actually, Full Metal Alchemist. The brother Edward and his brother lost I say Edward lost an arm and a leg to try to save his brother, and this
Hmm.
entire thing is a story on how they their get their stuff back, get their arm back, or get their soul back into their body. That's a synopsis. I was like, but the cool thing with it is there is actually a character who snaps his fingers and fire goes out. A teaser is something I say that kind of hooks them to get into the show and be excited about something that's coming from it.
Hmm.
That I say is more of a teaser. A spoiler is saying what just like a big twist, something that has a huge plot point. Like I would say, and going going into the sequels of Star Wars, as we get into Episode 6, Emperor Palpatine. That
Yeah.
Rey Skywalker is a Palpatine. That I say is more of a spoiler because that is
Okay.
a big plot. Oh, kind of moment. Or
Yeah.
Luke, I am your father. That Darth Vader is Luke's father prior to seeing Empire. Something like that. Something that is like a big, like climactic thing.
Hmm.
That I
So
say
you're
is more of
saying
a spoiler.
something that kind of ruins the movie for you, so it makes it so you don't need to go see it anymore, as opposed to
Exactly.
something that makes you want to see what happened. How does this happen? Like
Mhm.
saying in that same scene, saying Darth Vader cuts off Luke's hand. It's just like,
Exactly.
oh, or just saying Luke loses his hand in this movie. That's a teaser. That's like, oh, what happens? How does he lose his hand?
I was like, go see the movie. I
Yeah.
If it's something like that where you're just like, I'm giving you this little tidbit to get you excited to go and watch it or go through it and read it, that I say is a teaser. A spoiler is ruining that. Is going to the other side
Yeah.
of that coin saying, "Oh, yeah, no, he lost his hand after he found out that Darth Vader's his dad." Like, that is more of a spoiler, it's like, "Oh, what?"
So this is just for fun, just to see what would be a spoiler for I am the King Killer Chronicles. Can you
Trying to
come up
think.
with one?
And that's what I'm trying to do, 'cause, honestly, one of the big things with it is there really isn't.
Mm.
There isn't enough to be a spoiler. Like, all of it could be a teaser.
Yeah.
Because actually, as I was going through it, when I was what helped propel me through the first book was the fact you told me that Kavoth says the name of the wind to get back at Jackus. That propelled me to go, I want to get to that point. I want to get to that point. I will go through this entire book just to get to that point.
Yeah. And it was worth it.
It was worth it.
That part is amazing.
It is amazing, and what it does is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Like, there really isn't much of a spoiler in King Killer Chronicles because in order for it to really be a spoiler, you actually have to know about the world.
Yeah. And you have to develop it. You have to read a story to actually understand that no one part alone is this huge thing. Like the biggest reveal in all of it is that the Chandrian kill his family, and that is the start of it.
Yeah, it's like, and that's just where my story begins. They cover that in
Exactly.
what, the first 10 chapters?
Yeah. It's like saying that Edward and Alphonse loses his body and trying to bring
Edward.
back their mom.
Yeah, Edward
That's
loses an arm.
literally, yeah,
Yeah, it's just
and that's one of
though.
the things I love about it.
Yeah, that's a great thing with it. Whereas, don't get me wrong, in Sanderson, for him, it is that big plot device, that big shock moment where he does
Yes,
have a spoiler, and that's what I enjoy and love with it.
yeah,
Although one of the biggest plot twists happens at the beginning of Rhythm of War, which I'm actually now re-listening to that since I just finished Trust of the Emerald Sea
nice,
and Oathbringer today.
yeah.
I finished 2 books today.
Way to go! I finished a book today too. I finished Eugene Onegin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, plot twist. The very end of it, basically the girl he rejects at the start of it, he ends up falling in love with later on, and like pines after her, but she's married now. And so he shows up at her like in her bedchamber
Mhm.
and is like, please take me back. Like I want to be with you. She goes, no, I'm married. And like, I still love you, but I'm married now, and walks away. And then her husband walks in, and that's how it ends. It's like
So he does get
to
shot.
his pretty much. So to his detriment, her husband walks in. It's like, oh no.
Ruh-roh.
Yup.
And then they agree to a three-way.
No. This is Russian literature. Nobody's happy.
Who said they're happy in that situation? It's a devil's threesome. I am sorry. I am a horrible person, and I don't regret it.
This is why we record at 9 and not 10:45.
This is why we record earlier.
Exactly.
When we're both not tired.
Luckily, I had enough caffeine today to keep me awake for about 10 more minutes. So,
Yeah, well, I just finished off a can of Mountain Dew, so I'm good to go.
yeah,
All right,
I am.
so other
So,
fantasy news. If you have a pulse and been on YouTube or social media at any point, you've heard about Wizards of the Coast and their shenanigans.
I'll let you tell about that because I was definitely wrong when we were talking about it earlier.
Oh yeah, no, actually what was funny is I learned about this last week after we got done recording.
Yeah.
And what gave it away is I was looking at Warhammer memes, and one of them was like, Wizards of the Coast announce their OGL 1.1. And it shows Marge going, Games Workshop, how could you? And it's Bart, like it's Marge and Bart from The Simpsons. And Bart's
Yeah.
like, I'm right here. She's like, oh, sorry, it's just force of habit. Because Games Workshop is Game Workshop, the guys behind Warhammer are generally known for being greedy. Because
Yeah.
seriously, if you look at the cost of an army, it's very prevalent on how greedy those guys are.
Number one reason I haven't bought one yet.
Yeah, this is where I want a 3D printer.
Understandable. Anyways, keep
But
going.
yes, I digress. So Wizards of the Coast again. Basically, main thing that they're changing with their open game license is because originally me and Cody actually were on. We were thinking the same thing, but as I looked deeper, I learned more. Is that they were expecting royalties for just using the D&D system. Which again, that would cause a whole lot of problems, and that's why a lot of people have boycotted, have like canceled their D&D Beyond subscription. Why they're like, you know what,
Hmm.
we're going to go back over to Pathfinder and that kind of stuff. And actually, Paizo is saying that if they do enact this, they are going to sue Wizards of the Coast.
Oh man.
So because again, they can't exactly have they can't have control on the D&D format.
Yeah.
It's just the D&D lore, D&D stuff, anything that's within like the actual Dungeons and Dragons world. Yes, they do have a say. It is their copyright, it's their IP. They do have a say in that. But the open game license allows third-party creators to actually make something in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Like Critical Role is the prime example. Because
Yes.
Matt Mercer, he's created modules, he's created stories. Heck, the dude's helped with one of the modules, Waterdeep Dragon
Yeah.
Heist.
For the actual what's the Coast official stuff.
Yeah, so he was able to do that. So now they're trying to enact a royalty system to, if you were to do that, you have to pay royalty to get your stuff published. Which that's where a lot of the feedback has been. Like a lot of these third parties, like, look, we're just trying to experiment. We're trying to figure this out. We don't even know if it's going to work. We're just trying to push it out to the market. We don't want to pay you to even see if it works.
Yeah.
At least that's kind of the take I've been taking with it. But the main thing is legally they really can't because the way the game license was originally created. And that's where
Okay.
Paizo is now trying to see this as an opportunity to get more people back over to Pathfinder. Is that if Wizards of the Coast does this, Paizo is actually enacting their own open game license saying, third party, you're more welcome to use it. No royalties, you're open to use it.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel like they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot, and it's not even for what's actually in it for most part.
Hmm.
It's for what people think is in it, the
Yeah.
perception,
Hmm.
and that's what's gonna do it. I mean, even as is, they're already gonna lose people just because they heard one thing and they're gonna freak out and go off. Um, but I think if they really do go through with it as is, that they'll shoot themselves in the foot a bit.
Hmm. Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
just my personal hot take.
Oh no, I agree with you, and I'm pretty sure plenty of other people agree with you.
Yeah. But I also don't think it's as big of a deal as a lot of people think.
Hmm.
Personally, I know I don't create that kind of stuff, so I can see how the creators who are testing it, I am how they that's a problem for them, and that's
Yeah.
something that's I understand where they're coming from with it.
Hmm.
I am, but at the same time, this is their product, and they do have say in a lot of the things with it, and they can
Hmm.
be as generous or as greedy as they want to be.
Yeah.
And so as
And
long as it
this
falls within, go ahead.
Oh, no, no, I was gonna say, and this is why it's good to have competition in the market, is
Yes.
because now this is going to, in one respect, Wizards of the Coast is now backtracking, saying that, no, we're not going to do that anymore. Instead, they're going to do something different. They're
Hmm.
having to backtrack, whereas Paizo is being there saying, you know what, if they do it, we're going to fight them for it.
Yeah,
This is where, again, having that kind of competition in a marketplace does good.
it does. Definitely agree with that. Monopolies are rarely, if ever, a good
Even the game Monopoly is not always a good thing. It gets boring, people's feelings get hurt, friendships are lost, family members yeah, it's just a bad thing.
thing.
Oh, dude, if you wanna laugh, watch Markiplier and his friends play Monopoly.
Oh no.
It is so funny. At one point, they were literally giving money to Wade.
Yeah.
Basic Wade is the equivalent of our KJ.
Oh no.
They were just giving money to him, and they were actually, like, doing well after they gave him money.
That's awesome.
So it was very much like, pay your tribute to Wade. It turned into like almost a cult thing.
Yeah.
And it's just funny.
Well, that's awesome.
Uh, uh,
Well, any other news?
not that I'm aware of. I think Wizards of the Coast took up a majority of my news this week.
Okay. I don't have anything really for announcements for anything big. Just excited for Vox Machina to start in
Next
was it
week.
a week,
Yep, week
10
from
days?
today. It is a week from today. Comes out on
Oh,
the
nice.
20th. Today's the 13th.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was the 23rd for some reason. Um, so you're right. I've gotten the date wrong like 4 times, so I just trust you.
Dude, at this point, I'm having a calendar. All right, that's the only thing that's keeping me in mind. Actually, I was this close to being late to work today.
Oh no.
I thought I went in at 5 today, and I went in at 4.
Oh,
So today, actually, in my area, they had a free cafe Rio.
nice.
One of the restaurants was having free cafe Rio for the day. So,
I haven't had Cafe Rio forever.
so me and Megan went over there around 2 o'clock. I was like, okay, you know what? I can wait in line for an hour. That's not a huge issue. Got there. Holy cow, the line was ridiculous. It
Yep.
was going out into traffic.
Well, do you remember Cafe Rio on campus on Tuesdays?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay. You're right.
been there. For those who don't know, they did Taco Tuesday, where each taco was like $1 or $2 each. Um, it's a college campus. There was legitimately probably 100 people in line at some points.
Oh yeah, no. Again, college campus and a bunch of broadcast college students. A dollar tacos. You got business.
Yep. That's why the taco
So
truck still does so well.
Oh yeah, seriously.
Plus, it's good.
But
Anyways,
no, calendar saved my butt today. I was only like 2 minutes late to work, which is within normal reasons.
yeah, that is good.
Because I also had to drop Megan off at her parents' place because she had to babysit her siblings.
Gotcha.
So much fun.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
All right.
today's topic, we are actually talking
Yes.
about fantasy, sci-fi. We're actually talking about big series, and we're ranking them in the tier lists. So S tier, A
Yes.
tier, B, C, D, E, and F.
Yup. So well,
So
hold on. It was S
A, B,
A B
C,
C
D.
D F. There's no
Yeah,
E,
okay.
right?
Yeah, no E. Don't always listen to me. I'm not always right. I am frequently wrong.
I'm just trying to make sure I get it right.
I know, buddy. I'm trying hard to. All
All
right.
right.
So we'll start off with our first S tier, which is Lord of the Rings: The Extended Edition.
Yes, definitely S tier. Peter Jackson, extended Lord of the Rings, amazing, fantastic, no doubt about it.
It's the extended edition is just so well done because I grew up mostly on the theatrical editions
Hmm.
because that's whenever it was
That,
coming out.
yeah,
So when we got to the Two Towers was like my least favorite film. Like only thing that saved it was Helm's Deep for me.
yeah,
And so when we finally got the extended edition, I'm like, oh my gosh, this makes so much more sense. Rohan makes sense. There's so much more depth to Rohan.
mhm.
The Ents make more sense. There's more depth to them. Mary Pippin are funny as crap.
Yeah, they are.
And that's just something we didn't get in the theatrical. So
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of Two Towers in the extended is everything with Theoden. I am
oh.
that I it shows them when they first I find them when Aomir finds him and just in that river just full of bodies. Um, carries him back and everything with that is just it's a lot more developed. I had in the theatrical I had no connection to Theoden whatsoever. I felt nothing when he died.
Hmm.
I felt for the king, but I didn't. I or for Theoden, not Theodred. Sorry, Theoden's the king. Theodred's his son.
Yep.
I felt for Theoden, but I didn't feel for Theodred. I didn't care that he died. But when I saw the extended edition, it hits a lot more. At least
Like,
for me.
yeah, no, like there is an understanding when it goes through and shows it. Don't get me wrong, I don't think he says a single line in that entire
No,
movie.
he
He's
doesn't.
just he's just a dead body.
Yes, I
But
am.
it gives more depth to it, more meaning behind it.
Yeah, one of the others. It's in Three Towers. The Return of the
Third
King.
one.
The third one, Return of the King. I can say it right eventually.
Pick number 3, my lord.
But it's how it actually shows. I am briefly, but it still shows with I am Faramir and Eowyn.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I
That's
always
subtle
wondered what
thing.
happened, and it showed
Yeah,
that. It just
yeah,
and then within Return of the King, Saruman and his
yes,
great fall.
yes. Oh, that was epic.
Like, and it
I
made it hit harder. It gave it more meat.
yeah, it did it 100 times better. That one little scene should that one especially should have been left in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
that's our first S tier. So what's the next one you got, Cody?
First one on my list is the Chronicles of Riddick.
I figured as much.
Did you mark that one down?
I didn't write that one down because I knew you were gonna write it down.
I love that series. I think so. There's, I think, 4 films now.
Oh,
One
really?
of them is animated. I am, but I don't really count that one. It's a nice story. It's a good intermediate one. It's a short, but
Mhm,
the first one especially, Pitch Black. I love that movie. It
mhm.
is, for me, it's an A tier movie.
I would
I
agree.
yeah,
It's solid storytelling and sorry, Vin Diesel just
he nails that role.
like, it's almost like that role was meant for him.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it
There's
is such a good movie.
it is. I am so yeah. I would say as a whole, that series is definitely A tier. Not quite
Mhm.
S. There's some flaws, some things that I don't care for as much, but definitely A tier.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that one.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. On to yours.
Uh, sticking with it again, since we did Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit.
The Hobbit. Ooh, what are you gonna put it as? I want to hear you
I'm
first.
gonna put it as one of those things. So, okay, prior to Rings of Power, it's C to D.
Yeah.
Now it's a B to C.
I mean, comparing them, it is significantly better. I
Yes.
would I would still put it at as a C.
I
I
think
put
a
it C
C is a
tier.
solid grade with it
The
because there's good things with it, there's bad things with it. Overall, I know it's more, I say it's mostly Warner Brothers overreaching because Warner Brothers does this a lot with their films, is that they
Mhm.
want to have more executive control with it to where even people who worked with Peter Jackson on Lord of the Rings said he wasn't his usual jovial self because Warner Brothers was basically telling them what he needed to do.
Oh, okay.
So that's why for me, it's like, okay, I can understand it, why they do the stuff they did. And I know a lot of people give crap to the Hobbit special effects.
There's too much CGI.
There is too much CGI. I would agree. But there are a couple cases where I'm like, it fits.
Yeah.
Specifically with the trolls. Like the troll
Okay.
scene, that much CGI for me, it fit.
That did. I like the troll scene. The first one, especially the first part one of The Hobbit, was honestly the best of the three, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I thought it was really well done, but again, it was just too much CGI. They
Hmm.
added in stories they didn't need to.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, there's redeeming qualities to each one,
Hmm.
but I didn't even feel the need to see all of them. I saw the first and the third one. I missed the second one. I just didn't have a chance to see it, and I never had the desire to go back and see it.
Honestly, for the second one, you just really need to see them meeting Smaug. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
yeah. Um, so yeah, I would say the first one would probably be a B tier for me.
I would agree.
The third one is probably a D tier, which is why
Yeah.
that's why it brings it to a solid C.
Yeah, and second one, I would say C because it does at least kind of propel the story a little bit. They add too much fluff to it in some cases, but if they're trying to make a trilogy out of it, it makes sense. Honestly, it should just stuck with two.
They should have. A two-part would have
Nix,
been amazing.
yeah, nixed out the white orc, nixed out
Yes.
the stuff in the town. Freaking bring back in the centaur. I think bring him in.
Yeah.
Like they skipped that story for some reason, but yeah, they added other stories.
Yeah. Should have just stuck to the source material.
Yeah.
Rings of Power could have learned from that. F tier. Just saying. We didn't even bring it up. It's F tier
Yeah,
for
you know
them.
what? Let's mark that one down. Rings of Power F tier. If you want to know why, watch our review episodes. Okay, I think we covered that enough.
Yeah.
We were talking about ratios. Like again, when it comes to filmed, like book to film adaptations, they say, oh, 1 to 1. It's never 1 to 1. So for us,
No.
we've been using a decimal system. Like actually, what would you put the decimal system for the extended edition to comparatively?
So I actually love the movies because they are slightly different than the books.
Hmm.
The I would put them at probably a point 0.6. So like a 6 out of 10, basically. I am or
Hmm.
point 0.6 out of 1, but 6 out of 10 for how much it compared over. Just because there's a lot of things that are different, but the core story is not. The
Hmm.
core of everything, it stayed true to the books and to the source material. And that's why I keep it probably 6 to maybe a 7.
Yeah, I was gonna put it around a 7.5. Give
Mhm.
giving it a solid C grade for
Okay.
accuracy,
Yeah.
because overall they kept the spirit of Tolkien in
Yes.
it,
Yes.
and that is the main key: is keeping the spirit of Tolkien in it. There are some stuff that, again, it's good to maybe move it around, change it to a different scene because cinematically it would make more sense,
Yeah.
which I will discuss when I get to Dune.
Okay.
But that's so when you get to The Hobbit, I would say it was more of a closer kind of almost to, I would say, maybe a point 0.8.
Okay.
Just overall, I was gonna say in the accuracy of the story. They added more stuff in, but if you took out the extra stuff, I would say actually point 0.6. Point 0.6
Okay.
to the actual story. because they have a lot of the main key segments in The
Hmm.
Hobbit to in the movies, but they just added more crap in.
And for me, adding extra things in takes
Drops
away
it?
from it. Yeah, it takes it away from me.
Okay.
I am it, yeah. So that's one of the things. That's why The Hobbit to me is the first one was closer. The first one is a lot higher for me, probably
Mhm.
like a 7. I am, but as a whole with the series, it dropped it down to a 5,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, especially that ending. Anyways,
And then Rings of Power, point zero 0.02. It was more like it was more like Lord of the Rings fanfic than anything,
it
so,
really is. It
alright.
really is. All
So
right, my next one.
mhm.
So I don't have these in any particular order. It's just whatever came to my mind as I was writing. Once Upon a Time, the TV series.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have. Not
Okay.
all of
What do you?
it. I think I saw up to where, like, Peter Pan became the bad guy.
Okay, that's fair. I stopped to honestly, and this might sound terrible, but I stopped when everyone started turning lesbian.
Yeah, I swear they're doing that with a lot of shows now, and it's just
Yeah, and for me, it's just because it didn't make sense. Where like Red Riding Hood, like the entire thing is that she killed her boyfriend, and then suddenly she's lesbian. Because Red is the
that's
werewolf.
okay, yeah.
Red is the big bad wolf. The entire story is that she killed her boyfriend who was coming to see her, and then later on, she's now a lesbian,
Oh,
and
jeez.
things like that.
Yeah, I think the last thing I really saw, I think, was Mulan.
Yeah,
Mulan
so
coming in.
Mulan gets introduced, and yeah, it's right around there. That's right where I was stopping. Is right after that, because that's
Ok
right where Red becomes. Yeah,
okay, so where would you rank it?
honestly, I really enjoyed up to that point. I would put it as a solid B tier, maybe C at the lowest.
I was gonna put it towards a C tier because, as series go on, again, at least stateside here, they slowly begin going downhill.
It's true.
So, very early on, Once Upon a Time, definitely B tier. For
Yeah,
just common television, oh, solid B.
yeah,
But as it went on and it's finished up, it's closer to C, D upon its last seasons, I would assume.
yeah.
So that's I think a good solid C would be a good place to put it.
Okay, I'm good with that. I do have to ask, who is your favorite character?
Uh, Rumpelstiltskin, actually.
Yep, that's mine too. He's
Rumpelstiltskin, because there is so much more depth to him,
there is.
and he was one of the most intriguing characters. Because yes, he is basically the villain in most of it,
Yeah,
but he has so much depth to him. He's not just like, "Oh, I'm doing this to ruin your life." He's like, he has his own personal motives for doing this.
yep,
And that's what makes Rumpelstiltskin so good and so much of it interesting character.
yeah. It's true. And he was also one of the best actors in the entire thing, the most believable character for me.
Yeah,
So
and I'm gonna say he just had a rough start in his acting career with Aragon.
yeah,
But him in Once Upon a Time, I think that made up for his acting. Like that, I think that set his acting career back on course.
I agree. Definitely agree. Want to go to your next, or should we
All
rank
right.
Aragon real quick?
Oh, I forgot to put Aragon on here.
I did too.
Oh my gosh, Aragon D.
D tier. I didn't mind it
Aragon the
as a
movie, the
movie.
movie.
Yes, movie. I didn't honestly. I didn't mind it as a movie, but it was one of those that's so bad it's good in
Yeah,
a way for me. But then when you compare it to the books, it's just trash.
yeah.
Because
Say,
I saw the movie before I read the books.
oh yeah, no, actually, I was trying to read the book before I saw the movie, and actually, I got like the first chunk in, where in
Yeah.
the movie it stayed pretty accurate to that point, and then you get towards the end of the movie, and it's just like, wee.
Yep.
Because yeah, with
Shoot.
him meeting Saphira, meeting all that, like that part was pretty accurate to the book, and then we decided to go off trail.
Yep.
So that's why Aragon kind of gets a D. Like the movie itself, if you did not read the books, it's pretty solid. Like it was solid.
Yeah.
Then you get to the books, like it went way off course.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yep. Books were a lot better.
Okay.
All
So,
right. Your
so
next
I'm
one.
I'm gonna jump over to sci-fi.
Okay.
TV or movie?
Let's go TV.
TV, Eureka.
Eureka.
Do you
I
remember
only saw.
Eureka?
I do. I saw a few episodes of it. I didn't see the whole thing, but I remember some of it.
Yeah, no, I remember sitting down and watching a few episodes with my dad.
Yeah. I know my brother loved the series.
Hmm. Like it again, it was classic sci-fi special effects, but
Yeah.
it was a good story. It was fun. So for me, I'm ranking it like C plus B minus tier. Like
Okay.
it's good. It's a good story. I know it had some issues, but overall, it was good. It was fun.
Yeah, it was. I'd definitely say B tier.
Okay, I put it under B then.
It might be just the positive memories of it. Go back and watch it. May not be as good, but
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be one of those once we look at the special effects, we're gonna go, "Oh my gosh, we thought this was state of the art. Oh my gosh."
it was.
It was at the time.
Yeah. Can we do a whole group real quick that
Okay,
go around with Eureka to me?
okay.
It's the same time frame for me, and that's the Battlestar Galactica, the
Mhm.
Stargates, Atlantis
Oh,
specifically, and SGU or
yeah, SG-1.
SG1. Thank you.
Uh,
I Those ones, all of those to me are B tier.
you know what? Sci-Fi. The Sci-Fi TV network.
Sci-fi, yes.
Sci-Fi TV network early, mid, late 2000s
For the TV shows, the
for the TV
movies
shows.
were horrible.
Movies were awful. It was one of those
Uh,
things where, like, you know what? They have a kind of fun idea. They're working on a budget, but they are at least trying.
it's true.
So yeah, just the entire sci-fi channel.
It's so great.
It's like B to C tier.
Yes. Love you. Yep. Okay. That crosses off two more on my list.
I'll leave that like cross that one off.
Okay. So my next one is the Shannara Chronicles.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Okay, so I think it was on Netflix. It's I never read the books, but I saw the TV series, and I was engaged with it, especially in
Hmm.
the first season. Second season fell off pretty much completely for me.
Hmm.
And I'm pretty sure for everyone because I think it discontinued after that.
Oh, there's one I'm gonna add to my list because we need to have it on there.
Yeah. So because the first season was good, it would have the first season was just an average. Honestly, it was pretty average. It was a C tier. Because the second season, I would put it as a low C to a D.
Okay.
I can enjoy crappy films, okay?
Oh no, like, dude, I can enjoy crappy films too. It's the story. If the story is good, I can
Yes.
deal with crappy special effects.
Yeah. And acting and et cetera, et cetera.
Let's say it depends on how bad the acting is. If
It's
it's
true.
so bad that is funny, okay.
Which brings me to my next one, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
A tier, A
A tier.
tier, A to S.
I'll give it an A tier.
Just because it's still prevalent today. Like
Yes.
people still make references. I have a T-shirts that my sister got me for Christmas like 5 years ago.
The one that I make the most, the reference I make the most is, "Oh, great powerful wizard, what's your name?" Tim?
Tim. Oh my gosh! Like, Monty Python. I have A plus. We're giving it A plus. It's not
Yeah.
quite S. I think it needs to be S, but it's an A plus. It is
Yeah.
definitely an A plus. Cause
Brave Sir Robin ran away.
I did
He
not!
bravely ran away.
Shut
When
it!
danger reared its ugly head, he bravely turned to sail and fled. I haven't even seen that movie in probably 5+ years, and I still remember that.
When me and Megan first started dating, she had never seen it.
Same thing with Ashley.
Yeah, so I was like, "That's it. I have it on Amazon Prime, so I can watch it whenever I want now."
Nice.
And it was funny, especially it's got nasty pointy teeth.
Teeth. Yup.
All right.
All right, on to your next.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, no, the one I added that we need to add, especially to the sci-fi genre, Firefly.
How did I miss that?
I know.
How did I miss? That's one of my. I'm rewatching it right now. Oh my gosh, S tier. I don't care what anyone says. That
it's
is S tier.
it's A plus S tier, just because.
I don't care about its failures. It is amazing. It is beautiful, and I will keep it as an S tier. And you can fight me.
Dude, honestly,
And Serenity. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I love still how much of a fan Nathan Fillion is of it, the show.
I know. In Castle when he
Yes,
messes
that's
up on
exactly
it.
what I was gonna reference, was him in Castle, him dressing up as his character. I was
Yup.
just like, "Ah, I'm so excited."
I love that. And honestly, Serenity, the movie for me,
Mhm.
just built on it.
Yeah.
I know it recapped a lot of the stuff, but at the same time, it just built on the world and just it made it better.
Yeah.
Oftentimes those movies take away from it. Not for
Mhm.
me. Firefly and Serenity, for me, S tier. I will swear by those movies.
I know, again, it was when you were talking about, it was crappy, like
Yeah.
like the one crappy
So
show.
bad it's good.
So bad it's good, or just
And
like
I can
you
enjoy
said
a
they
crappy show.
discontinued it, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, I know there's a sci-fi show that's like, oh, Firefly!" And right now, Firefly.
Yes. Man, I love that series.
Alright, so now your next one.
Okay. I'm Dragonheart.
I have that one on my list too,
Dang it.
okay. No. Again, this is where we both get it, we're just gonna put it in a
I
rank and
know.
move on.
Yeah.
C. I'm feeling C to D. Because the
For which
first
one?
film, I would say for the
Just
entire trilogy, I was gonna say for C to D. For the first one, B.
okay. First one is
First
B
one,
for me
B.
too.
First one, solid B. Is when you get into the other films that begins going down.
They're still making them. They're horrible. I saw them on I don't remember what it was, probably Netflix. But I
Yeah.
saw random ones. I'm like, this is so bad.
Oh
Like
my
the
god.
second one was bad enough. The second one was bad, so bad it's good. I liked the second one.
Mhm.
First one by far the best. Second one, okay. Third, after that, it just went downhill as
Oh yeah.
trash. I only count the first two. The first two for me. So the first one's B tier. Second one is probably C tier.
Yeah. So.
Except for the special effects of the ice at the end, that's totally styrofoam.
So Dragonheart, me personally, I rank it around a C. Just cause, but this is where again, first one, definitely B. It's only reason why it's a B is because again, budget special effects. The
Yeah.
story is good, the acting is good, everything with it was good.
Oh yeah. I have no complaints about the first one. I thought it was all done fantastic. Lupin is in it.
Mhm.
He does a great job as the villain. I love him as a villain. He does a
Mhm.
great job.
Yeah.
I don't know his actual name. I just he's Lupin to me. That or
All
the
right,
dad of
so
the boy
we're
in the striped pajamas.
okay. So we're gonna put it at a B.
Yeah, B tier.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
And just for other listeners, we're more referring to the first movie. Okay.
Yes, just first movie.
All right. So
Okay, you're next.
yep, what I have on my list, should we go with a high or low?
Low.
Wheel of Time. I'm putting it at a D. D to F.
I'm gonna have to push it up a little bit. I'm gonna say it was C tier for
Okay.
me.
So why do defend
So the
defend your
reason
case?
why the things that I disliked about it did not detract from the story. Even though I stopped watching it, I didn't want to stop watching it. I wanted to keep watching it. I just couldn't because I disliked the things they were doing with it. As the story itself, I thought was, I mean, because I haven't read the books, but the story itself was so engaging, and I wanted to see what happened next. I wanted to continue with it. I
Mhm.
had so many theories and things I was so excited about, and so I thought that the effects with it, I thought that the acting was phenomenal. The things that I had the issues with were things that they just threw into as side plots or as side points more than anything.
Mhm.
And so that's why for me it's higher ranked, because if they had cut out all the things I didn't like, so making the, I don't remember her name, as the mage, the
Uh,
head mage,
more
whatever,
oh, yeah, the
Moraine,
Armorland Se yeah.
making
Moraine and the Armorland
Moraine,
seat,
yeah,
yeah.
having them be together, I think it just kind of detracted from me, and the fact that they go so heavily into sexual themes with it when the book isn't anywhere near as heavy with that. From what I understand of it, from talking to a few people, there is the themes with it. There's
Ye
definitely the themes with it.
Mhm.
It's just nowhere near as prevalent or heavy as they made it.
Yeah, it's a little bit more suggestive in the book.
Yeah.
And the reason why I rank it as a D,
Yes.
let me make you this comparison.
Okay.
Imagine Harry Potter
Yep.
without the Weasleys. That is what Wheel of Time did.
Who'd they cut out?
They cut out the royal family, one of the royal families, to which this is when Rand first gets introduced to a red Aja Aes Sedai. And I'll give you this little bit of spoiler because it threw me off a little bit.
Okay.
Rand gets 3 girls. One of them is the princess of
What a
this royal
man.
family. And she is like, honestly, okay, I'm pretty sure this might be a hot take, but I love the princess. She is so fiery, so feisty. She is awesome. I like her as a ruler, and she is very much one of those that will do what needs to be done. Even whatever happens to her later on in the book, she's just like, I'm still doing it. You guys can't stop me. I can touch the one true power. I can do this.
That's awesome.
And they cut her out. They cut her, her brothers, and they are so prevalent to the story. Like
Yeah.
they are some key points.
Mhm.
That's why it's down to a D. Is because it'd be like watching Harry Potter if you have never read the book without the Weasleys.
Okay. I can see that.
Let's say, and this again, and that's why it's coming from me, like the guy who's read all 14 of the stupid Will Time books. I
It's on
say
my list.
stupid just because there's a lot of them. The
Yes.
series is really good. I have a couple issues with the series just because sometimes books get long, and this is one of those
Yeah.
times. But that's why I rank it as a D, is because I've read the book. I was excited for it. All the stuff they were showing in the trailers, I was excited for with Matt and the dagger and the way
Yeah.
and everything
That
with
was
it.
by far my favorite storyline. And I was sitting there at the very end. I was like, Matt did not kill the family. I know he didn't kill the family. He thinks he did, but he didn't do it.
Mhm. I know.
Did he
Matt
actually do
Matt
it?
no, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay.
I
I don't know.
no, he never killed the family because basically what happens so this is the other thing they did wrong in the show. You
Mhm.
met Tom Maryland, the bard.
Yes. Yep.
He is in episode 1. He actually goes to the 2 rivers because that is like one of the main talking points in the villages where we have a gleeman coming into town. That is the excitement. That is everything going on with it. And then
Mhm.
he performs, he does everything, and then the Trollocs invade.
Okay.
Trollocs attack, and the dude stands on his own. He's able to fight off Trollocs.
Nice.
He does good, and he's there from the get-go. Once they get to the
Mhm.
Dark Tower and everybody splits off, Tom goes with Matt and Rand. They get onto
Okay.
a ship and they go to basically to a town where oh what I can't remember the name. It's basically a shade. The guy who was
Yeah.
leading the
Yeah.
Trollocs.
Yeah.
He decides to fight that thing, and that's where they then split ways.
Okay.
And so for a while, it's Matt and Matt is keeping Rand is keeping Matt in check. He's making sure
Mhm.
he doesn't do any dumb crap. And a lot of times, Matt is just he feels so sick, feels like he can't do anything.
Yeah.
And so Rand is like having to. He's like, "All right, get on my back. Let's go."
Yeah.
And also in the book, they're like 12, 14. So
That. Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, that's why it's like a lot of stuff isn't sexual. Is because sorry, they're 12, 14-year-old kids.
Yeah. No, this is why I hate when they bring in older people for shows and then change that crap. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So that's
let's
why it's
move
a D
on.
for me.
I'll accept it. I'll accept D. I am. My next one I know you have because we talked about it briefly, but Supernatural.
Yeah, Supernatural.
Let's start
s-
with the first 5 seasons.
First five, I'd even say up to season 6, season 7. I'd give it a B.
Okay.
Solid B. Good storytelling, very interesting, good story. It keeps you going.
Hmm.
The entire apocalypse, all that, it's good.
Yes,
After you get to, I won't say after season 5 up until like for the next couple seasons, it just gets funny.
it does. It's hilarious. There's so many memes that come from it. There's so many great things. Um, Once they stop just the random hunting, though,
Mhm.
it kind of went a little down for me. I loved when they were just hunting random monsters each episode.
Oh yeah.
I love that. Once it became more sequential, um, it was still good, and I still have it high tiered for me,
Mhm.
but it did descend a little bit. So the first 5 seasons where they're just hunting random monsters, so before the apocalypse,
Yeah.
that for me is A tier.
Yeah. A
I'm
tier.
After that, I would say B tier for
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah, same. Just because
Can we
one of my
mention that they? Oh, go ahead.
I would say one of my favorite episodes actually comes like I think it's season 13
Yeah.
is the Scooby Doo crossover.
Yes,
The,
love that one.
that is just fun.
And it's because they don't take themselves too seriously,
And
and that's the thing I
that's
love about the show.
yeah, same here is actually oh again we've been me and Megan been rewatching it and we actually
Yep.
just finished the episode where it's them in real life. It's
Yes, that
them
was
on the
such a
set.
great one.
And they're like, "Yeah, who the heck is this Jared Padalecki?" And then the fact that of just kind of stuff behind the scenes that they actually show on camera, like Jared is known for pulling pranks on the set.
Yep.
And so me when after they're done running lines, Misha, aka Castiel, he's just like, "Funny one, Jared. Funny. You got me. You got me."
One of my favorite parts on that, you married Ruby.
You married Ruby. Well, she's just an actress.
So funny.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's why I was like, honestly, a B I think is solid.
Okay.
I feel like it got, and for me, this is where in America, I think we let shows run too long. I think it needs to have a good beginning, middle, and end.
Well, you know how long it was supposed to run, right?
Oh, like again, 5 seasons, I believe it was supposed to end.
6.
Yeah.
They were planning on ending it in season 6,
Mhm.
episode 6.
Okay.
I, like it was supposed to be like season 666. End it with that.
Okay, that makes sense.
At least that's what I heard. I don't know if that's true, but I know they were
Hey,
supposed to end it really early on,
I
and
know.
then it was so successful.
Yeah, and for them, like success, money. Let's go. Let's crank them out.
Yeah. Yep.
So, if anything, that's the main effect that that happened to Supernatural, is that it just
Yeah.
went on so long that at the end of it, they're like, okay, let's just end it. Let's just mercy kill it.
Yeah. Yep. All right. On to the next one. What's your next?
Okay, you brought that one up. Okay, we did that one. Arcane. I don't think you've seen it.
I started it. I saw the first part of it. I am. Yeah. I From
I'm
what I saw, it was good.
I'm gonna give it an A,
Okay.
just because it is very good storytelling and art just perfect.
Hmm.
Like the art itself, I would put it in S tier, S plus if I could. Just because there is one moment that just made it truly artistic and just the best, and that is Echo versus Jinx fight.
Okay.
Like the way they did the art with that is just so masterfully done.
Hmm.
It goes, cinema's not dead. Art is not dead when you see that. And that's
Yeah.
for me what Arcane did tremendous with. The art was fantastic, the storyline with it was fantastic, and even the way they approached Vi's and Caitlyn's relationship, it's not in your face. It's not like it has been with other shows. It feels more tasteful, like feels more
Yeah.
tactful.
Like, it's there, but it's not like shoving it just like, oh, obviously focus on these characters. It's just it's a background thing.
Like even still, like I would say, like okay, even if like okay, if I was a dude, nothing changes.
Yeah.
Like I would have zero criticisms. It does not matter. Like the
Yeah.
way they approached it, where it's not like oh we're shipping them just to so that way we can say we got representation. No, it felt like an honest to goodness, like actual romance they were trying to start.
Oh, nice.
Like, it doesn't feel like it does not feel forced. That is the main thing, is a lot of these shows,
Yes. Yeah.
it feels forced.
Yep.
And that's why, like, Arcane is done so well. It is done so tactfully, so tastefully, so artistically. And at the very end, the way it even ends, I'm just like, I need the next season. Get me the next season. It's so good. That's why I'm like, it's an A to S.
Yeah. Well, when I get Netflix again, I'll watch
Fair enough.
it. You know, we were mooching off my sister, and then they put it on too many devices, so it kicked us out.
Oh, because Netflix is stupid.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit there and go, "Hey, it kicked us out. Can I get back in?" Nah, I don't care. I don't care enough to do that. The only
Understand.
thing that I will do that for is when Stranger Things season 5 comes out.
Okay, yeah. Which actually I think they're doing a movie first.
What?
Yeah, I believe Stranger
I
Things
didn't
season
hear
5
that.
is first gonna be a movie. I know they're doing a
Oh,
theatrical release, if anything. I could be wrong, but that's what I heard. Which we can rank that one. Stranger Things, A.
um, I think that the series will be theatrically released, like the first episode
Yeah.
will be theatrically released, but there's no movie.
Okay, okay. That's probably what sorry, yeah, that's probably how I misinterpreted it. Is I knew the first episode was going to be a theatrical release and then the rest will be streamed out on Netflix. But now that you brought it up, Stranger Things, I'm giving it an A.
Yeah, I'm definitely on board for that.
Just good story, fantastic storytelling. I'll wait till season 5. If season 5 just makes me go S tier.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, they had
Me
it
too.
planned, and the one thing that I'm sure a lot of people have said, but I agree with, is that they have definitely underutilized Will as a character.
They have, and in one respect, I kind of don't like the direction they're going to take Will.
I know, but at the same time, I don't really care.
At this point, I'm like, you know what? Kind of does. They have alluded to it since season 1. It
Yeah,
is
they
with the
have.
character. It's within that time frame. It
I
can work.
understand. And they've touched on a lot of serious issues that existed in that time period.
Oh yeah,
Um, from sexism to racism to a number of other things, and I think that them doing it this way isn't a terrible way. And I thought from the start that, and they, like I said, they brought it up in the start that he was gay, basically
yeah.
alluded to it.
It alluded to
And
it. So
yeah,
that's why I'm not like, oh my gosh, don't make Will gay. I'm just like, I'm not the biggest fan of the choice, but it's still in character. It's still
yeah,
pursuing that character, and I
yeah,
love Will. Will is he is the gem of the show. He is that you want to protect Will. You want to protect Will.
exactly. Who's your least favorite character?
Mike.
Mike's pretty low on the tier for me.
Mike is I so first up till about season 4, to be honest, he was my
Hmm.
least favorite. Season 4, he kind of gets slightly redeemed because he's now acknowledged that he is not the star, so to speak.
Yeah.
That L. He needs to be there for L.
Yes.
Once he kind of accepts that and goes with it, he gets a little bit more bearable.
Hmm.
Season 1 on, I'm like, can I just shoot Will?
I felt very similar. You're probably not gonna like who my least favorite is.
Who's your least
It's
favorite?
Elle.
L, like
I can't stand her character.
she's not my favorite. She's not my least. She's in the middle.
Yeah.
She's right there in the middle. I still root for her when she's going through her problems. I'm not like
Yes,
fail, but I'm
that's
not
right.
like super thrilled with Elle either. Like Elle's solid character, okay? I'm just solid character. May not like the choices she makes. I feel like sometimes it's angsty teen, but it happens.
Been there, done that.
Been there,
I
lived it.
favorite character.
uh Honestly, I might have to say Jody.
Really?
Will's mom.
Yeah.
Just because it's Mama Bear. Mama Bear going to protect her cubs. That is what I
Okay.
love with her is in every respect, Jody. So as we've seen with Rings of Power, we've seen like I am woman, I am power.
Yeah.
Whereas within Stranger Things with Jody, it's still mom. She's still mom. But she's going to do everything she can to protect her loved ones.
Hmm.
And that's what makes her character so lovable and so iconic. And that's
I
what
can see
makes her
that.
my favorite character is just the fact she is like, "No, you mess with my family, you're going to get my wrath."
Yeah.
And even when Sean Astin dies,
That was so sad.
it was so sad. And like, this is where like, honestly, I love Bob. Bob is,
Yeah.
if it's Jody's not there, Bob is
Great.
right above her. Bob is right there just because the dude is doing everything he can to be a supportive, like, step parent.
Hmm.
And and it's also Sean Astin. Like,
It is. He's such a great actor.
he's such a great actor, such a great dude.
Yep. Mine is Steve. Steve
Okay.
Harrington. I love Steve. I think he's one of the funniest characters in the entire show. He's the comedic relief and does a fantastic job.
Okay.
Season one, Steve, obviously nobody really likes.
Yeah.
He fixes things towards the end, but season two and season three, really, that Steve Harrington is amazing.
Season 4, all right. I drugs.
I
He's
mean,
in California, okay?
that's wait, Steve's not in California. That's the other boyfriend that goes to California.
Oh, okay, sorry, I was flipping the wrong one, sorry. Dude, yeah, no,
No.
Steve's best. Steve's barbarian.
Yes, yeah. Steve's. I'll tell you, but you actually want to fight.
Dude, like, dude freaking went to the Upside Down and beat a bat!
I
Like,
know, right?
Steve is like, oh, he's up there. He's one of the best characters. Yeah, horrible beginning, but great redemption.
Exactly.
And similar with Eddie.
Exactly.
Eddie in season 4.
Yeah.
Rough
So I
beginning.
actually hated Eddie in at the first episode.
Yeah.
But like you said, by the end, I loved him, and I was so sad when he died.
Oh my gosh. Most iconic scene for me is still him playing Master of Puppets.
I know, right?
Like,
How
and this is where, and
BA.
I was actually watching a guy who, again, guitar guy on YouTube. He's just like, okay, I'm gonna watch Eddie play this," and he's just like, Eddie knew how to play it. The actor
Yeah,
learned how to play Master of Puppets,
yo,
and I was
so
just
great.
like, I love this guy even more.
I know, right? Okay,
So,
let's move
okay,
on.
you know,
Next one.
Stranger Things, we're moving up to S here, just because as we get
S tier.
talking more
I'm
about
so
it,
good.
it's S, it's S.
I agree. Yeah, I'm good with that. I My next one is the originals.
Okay.
It's a spin-off series from Vampire Diaries that was significantly better.
Oh, okay, I think I've seen the first episode of it.
Yeah, so I actually think that it was a really good show, and I'd put it as high as a B tier.
Mhm.
I'm a high C, low B
Okay.
for me. I thought it ended okay, but they kind of ignore a really important fact. So one of the things with the originals is if one of the original vampires is killed, everyone in their bloodline dies.
Okay.
Klaus gets that removed, and so
Mhm.
he's hunted by everyone, but Stefan doesn't. Stefan doesn't have that removed. Him and Klaus kill it, like go by suicide together at the end, which means an entire line of vampires is
Yeah.
wiped out, and they don't mention it at all.
And again, I've at least seen the first episode, so I know who you're talking about.
Yes, and that's the thing. Originally, Stefan was one of my favorite characters. By the end of it, I hate Stefan. Klaus is number one. I love Klaus. Best character. He's a villain hero. Awesome. Love it.
Yeah. He's one of those characters that like, okay, you're a dick, and then towards the end he's like,
Yes,
I like you.
exactly.
And
So
again, same fact that we had with Eddie.
yeah, yep. I would probably put it as a B. I want to
Okay,
put it as a B tier, honestly.
okay, sounds good.
Your turn.
All right, so we're going to go back over to sci-fi.
Yep.
This one's been running for a long time, so I'm just going to go off the knowledge that I have seen of it. Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. So, for me on Doctor Who, I have only seen bits and pieces throughout it. To me, it's a a diamond in the rough type show.
Hmm.
The vast majority of it for me is C, maybe even D tier, but
Hmm.
there's gems. There's some absolute gems that are like S tier moments in this show
Hmm.
that just make me just love it.
Because I feel like overall, I would say it's a B to an A
Okay.
because the story itself is good.
Hmm.
Everything like with again, I've only seen like the Eccleston, David Tennant stuff right now, and
Okay.
the story is good. Again, special effects is like same level as like the Sci-Fi Network,
It's true. It's true.
but the story itself was really good, and I love actually throughout the seasons they will leave little gems for the season finale.
Yeah.
And that is what really makes each season interesting and special. Is there's little gems, there's even little Easter eggs to those who watched the original Doctor Who back 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
So it has nice little throwbacks, but they still keep it overall modern. Now, don't get me wrong, there are episodes I'm like, I feel like that was a waste of time. Uh,
Yeah.
but there are some episodes, as you said, diamonds in the rough, that are just they're gems. They're
Yeah.
just like the Weeping Angels. Like
Yeah.
that is just
So iconic.
so iconic. Like the it's now it gets to the point where like you're looking at statues and go, I got my eye on you.
Hmm. For me, my
So
favorite moment in all
mhm.
of it. Sorry.
No, go.
It's it's the moment where they're sitting there with the buttons, going to push them for the war to start the wars, and he does his whole speech about how he's seen worse things and done worse things than he would ever imagined.
Yeah.
And it's just such a powerful moment. It's one of those that, to me, that in and of itself makes Doctor Who a tier to me. I am those other episodes do bring it film to me bringing it down a little bit,
Mhm.
but so I would be very comfortable putting it as a B tier, but I would accept an A tier.
You say,
So if you
and
feel strongly about that, do it.
I feel more strongly towards an A tier because there's a
Okay.
reason why it's gone through so many incarnations and why it's gone through so many seasons is because there is a love for the show. There's a love for the Doctor to where all Whovian, and honestly, I got to give an A or else Whovians are going to shoot me with their sonic screwdrivers. But
Fair enough.
beyond that, it's the story itself is fantastic and it has those moments where you see the Doctor defend humanity and he gives those speeches that like I one of the things that actually stood out, this is actually past Tenet. It's I can't remember the one after him,
Don't
but
either.
he goes back in the past and grabs Van Gogh and brings him to the present
Yes.
and shows him his work in a museum. It's one of those that I'm like, "You're not crying, I'm crying." It's one of those moments where it
Hmm.
just feels you, it hits you right in the emotions. And honestly, if there is a show that can hit you in the emotions, make you cry, make you laugh, make you smile, make you feel all the spectrums of the emotion, that is a S to A tier show to me. And the fact that Doctor Who is able to do that, that it's at least an A. Even with the episodes that are just weird and way out there, those moments, those beautiful gems in the rough, it makes it worth it. So I
That's fair.
gotta give it an A.
Yep. Okay. Um. So I still have a ton on my list,
I
but we're
still have a
pushing
ton on
it
my
along.
list. Let's each do one more, okay?
Okay.
Each do one more.
Okay. Let me make this a good one then. I am okay. So I'm gonna. Dang it! Can I do two more?
Let's
We'll
do
do them
2 each.
fast.
We'll do 2
Okay.
each. We'll do one rapid fire and at least one we'll talk more in depth with.
Okay. This one is more rapid fire for me. Interstellar. It's
Okay.
sci-fi. I put that as an A to S tier.
Mhm.
What do you think?
I think that's accurate because Interstellar, in a lot of respects, it has changed and revolutionized a lot of the sci-fi genre as of today.
Yeah, I
So,
agree. And it's extremely accurate to reality for the
yeah.
most part, except for the very end. Um, but that's because it's theoretical.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, S tier. Okay. You want to do your rapid fire?
Yeah. We'll do this one rapid fire because this is an easy one. Avatar: The Last Airbender. A to S.
A tier.
A to
Yeah, S.
S
I
tier.
put S tier.
S tier. Self-explanatory. If you've seen the show, you know.
Yep. I am okay. This one, I'm putting this as a talk about a little bit more, just because I have to explain why. But the Tomorrow War.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
Okay, so it's on Amazon Prime. I recommend watching it. Premise of it, real quick. Basically, in the future, they send people back in time to pull people into the future to fight these creatures that invaded Earth.
Okay, I've seen the trailers for it. It's got a Chris Pratt. Yeah,
Yes,
Chris
Chris
Pratt.
Pratt.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's
the
just so
creatures
many
they fight are
names.
called White Spikes. Awesome creatures,
Mhm.
amazing CGI, amazing story. I am There's some issues with it, but as a whole, I put this as an A tier. I think
Okay.
it's an A tier movie to me.
All right.
So
I say I need to see
you
it
need to
because I
watch it.
have seen the trailers for it. I've seen all the stuff associated with it, and I've been a little bit curious about it. So
Yeah. There are two main issues. Number one, the entire thing is an allegory to say why global warming is terrible.
yeah.
Yes, global warming is bad. There is a lot of issues with it. I'm not debating that at all. It's just a little overdone for me with how much it's a current theme right now. Number two issue, their guns. The future needs better guns than a short-barreled rifle with all these attachments on it to make it look futuristic. Do better, Hollywood. Okay, keep going.
Well, I think they got their inspiration from the Republic Commando, but that was at least a cooler.
Look, okay, look up the Tomorrow War gun real quick,
Okay.
or
Uh,
rifle. It's an AR platform, M4.
okay. Like,
It's
yeah, no.
the main.
Yeah, no, it's just,
Okay,
yeah, it's a basic rifle.
but I mean, they mainly use the short-barreled version of it, the Mark III, that it
Yeah.
shows on there.
Yeah,
That's the main
okay.
one they use. Why do they have an ACOG with a short-barrel rifle? Why did it doesn't make sense. It There's
Yeah.
so many issues with it.
It
Okay.
almost looks closer to almost like a like the one I'm seeing right now, Chris Pratt has like a P90 attachment where it's towards the front.
Yeah, so that's a certain type of grip, and they put that grip on. It's a good grip, but it's just watch AK guy Brandon Herrera. He rips it apart, and it's really hilarious. Highly recommend watching that.
Okay.
Okay, keep going.
All
We can
right.
keep going.
So my last one that I'm going to talk more in depth with is Dune.
Dude, let's do this.
Dune, I am putting it as an A tier.
I want to push that to an S tier. I'm not gonna lie. I love the movie.
Okay. We'll do S tier because I'll explain in depth why I think it's an
Yes,
S tier.
yes.
Because I'm reading the books, okay? I haven't finished it. I am currently like 130 pages in, okay?
Okay.
What we've seen in the movie and what I've read with the book has been basically almost one to one.
And this is the new one, the
This
new
is the
Dune,
new one.
part
This
one.
is the new Dune, not the 1980.
Yes.
This is the newer Dune. It is very close. It is very accurate because this is where honestly I give it a not a 0.921 ratio. Because the first chapter it actually starts off with is Paul going in and doing the test with the Ben Gesserit. That's how it
Okay.
starts off. Whereas actually, I think the movie made a better call at moving that later,
Hmm.
till they're about ready to leave to Arrakis.
Yeah,
And the movie, their acting is phenomenal. Like it
it
is
is.
S plus tier. Like the actors in that did amazing from Jason Momoa.
Hmm.
There is just so much good acting in it. And
Yep.
for me, it's not like, oh, they had these crazy awesome action sequence, which the movie did.
Yep.
It was the subtlety in their acting. In the book, it shows you what they're thinking and what they're going through, and you can almost see it on the actors' faces.
Yeah.
That is what makes it an S tier for me, is the acting and the accuracy to the book has just been phenomenal, has been knocking it out of the park for me, since I picked this book up. There and actually one of the things they took out from the book that I'm like, "Go for it," is them traveling to Arrakis. It's not even a page. Like, it's them, they complain the fact that I think they put their stuff next to the Harkonnen stuff. Like,
Yeah.
and it's them complaining about that, but then once they get to the planet, it's back on track.
Hmm.
And actually, what's really cool is the beginning of every chapter, it talks about the prophecy.
That's cool.
It is really cool, and you just still get the feeling, get the vibe with Dune and the amount of effort they put into it. We need more shows like this.
We do. The visual effects are phenomenal, acting phenomenal, the storyline phenomenal, and it is one of those stories that shaped so much of the sci-fi realm as we know it today. Like
Dude, like
this is the
90%.
basis, right?
Yeah,
This is
like
the equivalent of Eugene Onegin for Russian literature, where that's the start of Russian literature is Eugene Onegin. Dune is the start of sci-fi literature for today.
oh, yeah, no, I was gonna make a comparison as Tolkien is the creator of fantasy, of high fantasy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dune took it to the sci-fi level to where even fantasy writers look at Dune because sorry, there isn't much politicking going on in Lord of the Rings. There's a ton in Dune. Dune is like
Yeah.
all politics. And it is
Yep.
so good at and it's a way to create that political controversy where it leads to a war. Like, I am confident Ender's Game got a good majority of its inspiration from Dune.
I believe it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's one. We'll do that for next time. Ender's Game movie.
Yes. Plenty more. We'll do a part two.
There are so many.
Yes,
I
there
said
are.
we'll do a second one of these later at some point because
Yes.
at this point we do have quite a bit of stuff. I think,
Yep.
yeah, no, I don't think we need a flounder to what are we going to talk about this week.
Nope. We got plenty to do. Well, I think for now though, it'd be a good time to put a bookmark in that, and we'll pick that book off the shelf another time.
All right, catch you guys later.